This is Matthew's code.
This is my
here.
code.
Only he understands it. I'm standing here next to a Steinway O. This ebony satin piano was built in 1918, and then in 2018 it was restored to like new condition. It received a new soundboard, bridge caps, strings, pins, pin block, action parts, hammers, the new felts in the action, and everything was made like new. It's also refinished. So now we have it back in our showroom, and we're doing what's called the reconditioning. We've talked about that before. And so we're going to talk with Matthew a little bit about what he's doing, and we're kind of at the end stage of the regulation process, but he is doing the final check of the dampers to make sure that they're lifting correctly when the key is played. So let's talk with Matthew and get a little bit of detail about what exactly he's doing here today. Okay, so Matthew, you're almost done with this.
Yes.
What is the final step that you're doing?
Right now, this basically final step is getting. So the last thing we do on any of them are always the dampers. The first part on grands, you want to make sure that the dampers to the pedal all lift together, smoothly, evenly. When doing that, that kind of tends to change how they interact with the actual individual keys on their own. So the goal that we're going through, we want the damper to lift when this hammer's about halfway between its resting position and the string. This makes it, if you make it lift earlier, you'll get a heavier feeling. If you make it lift later, you'll get a really light feeling. So getting this is kind of just like a baseline, what normal people would expect.
So that affects the touch when
Yes,
you're
that
playing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
That also affects the touch, not only the weight of the keys, but also when the dampers lift.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes. So as long as we get that about even, the whole thing should feel pretty smooth and even. We're not measuring it down to the thousandth of an inch, but within a centimeter or so is good.
Okay.
So on the way that we set ours up, we actually have the felts at the back of the key, which is actually what connects with the damper to lift it.
Okay.
So if we just leave a little bit of space at the back end of that felt, and I got really lucky with this one, they're all lifting very late, so I need to make them come earlier, so I need to bring that end up. So I get to just go through the tiny little shims at the back of the felts underneath. That brings the felt up a bit, so that it hits the damper sooner.
Okay.
Right now I'm just going through, trying to get them about basically even. Different pianos have different, depending on how they're designed, have different ways of making this all balance out, but with this one, I got lucky.
Well, that's good.
Easy mode.
That's great. So this piano is going to be for sale in our showroom, and so we're just making sure that it is working properly and everything is in good regulation before you come and play it. Now, we're going to pull this out, right? And you're going to show us exactly what you're going to do to make sure that the dampers are lifting properly.
Adjusted for goods.
So you've got this little device that you're using. How is that working?
This is absolutely nothing fancy. It is a stick with a little square of wood on it that I measured out to about 22 centimeters or 7/8 of an inch, which is the distance that I want it to be when the damper starts to lift. So basically, I just get this on here, hook it under the string. It's set up so that it reaches to the hammer, and then I just press until I hit the hammer. And if I don't hit the hammer, then I have to get the dampers to raise later. But when I do hit the hammer, I move it aside, see how far it moves before the damper starts to lift.
So that gives you an idea of which way you need to adjust it.
Exactly. And after a couple, you start to kind of get just sort of an estimate on if it's moving this much, I should try this. Starting out, you kind of just pick a random size shim and see what happens.
I see. So at first it's a little bit of a trial and error, but then
Very
after
much
you
so.
get it, you can kind of figure out what you need to do to make it all work properly.
Change the marks on here. I have one that I have to change, so I can pull it out and do that quick.
So you can see Matthew's marking with chalk to show which ones that need to be adjusted.
Everybody uses their own weird markings, so they never make any sense to anybody else. For me, if I have a chalk mark on the front of the wood of the key, that tells me that I need it to start lifting sooner, so closer to me. If I do it back, it has to lift later. So you can see all of the ones I have are forward.
I see.
And then after adjusting, I put a mark up here. That way, I know in my head, if there's any other shims in there, I'm not gluing anything in right now, I'm just, because I'm going through and testing it as I go. So that's my mark. Go through and glue in whatever's in there.
So this is the special code. This is Matthew's code.
This is my
here.
code.
Only he understands it.
Depending on what particular task I'm doing at the moment, everything has its own codes.
Okay, so if anybody ever wonders what these end felts are for, now we know. Here's the end felt of the key, and this is what is hitting that damper. So when you play the note, that's going to kick that damper up so that the note will actually play.
And then if you come down here, you can actually see all of the little shims that I've put in there. And I'm starting right now at a baseline of 30 thousandths of an inch for a shim. So the one that I have to adjust from the set that I just did, I have the 30 in there. So I'm just going to pop it out. Replace it with 45 thousandths. And check it again.
So those felts are glued on, but they do have a little bit on the back side that is not glued so that we can do it. We can, for this very reason, so we can make those adjustments.
With this design, sometimes they do get glued all the way down. But with this level of felting, it's really easy to just like that. Take a little razor and just get between where it was glued. Just make a little slit.
Just make a little slit without taking the whole felt off.
Exactly. You need barely any space.
Right. And you can see these action parts look very new. You know, they've been on there for a few years, but they are replaced, so they're all new, not original to the piano, new back checks, new felts. So it's a really great instrument, and so we're just making it work that much better.